Okay, so today we're going to talk about the differences between plants and animal cells. So our focus question is, how is cell structure related to cell function, and why are plant cells special? So plant cells have a few different qualities or organelles about them, and one is, like we talked about yesterday, this rigid cell wall. So it's when we say rigid, we mean this kind of tough, and it's harder, and it helps with it has structural features as well as just protection. Plant cells also still contain mitochondria, which is where cellular respiration occurs. And then they also have these specialized cells, stomata and guard cells, to help with water loss. And this is so that they can open and close those cells so that water isn't always being evaporated out. Chloroplast is the other organelle. And we talked about before, this is where photosynthesis occurs, and photosynthesis is really important because this is converting this sun energy into energy, or ATP, and this is why plants are considered primary producers, and they're the basis of all of the food web. The next one is the cell membrane. So even though they still have this cell wall instead, they also have a cell membrane as well. And excuse me. Plant cells also have an extremely large vacuole, as you'll see in this picture over here. It takes up a large amount of the space within the cell. Anything that says right next to it needs to just be listed within your science notebook. So cell walls. So this is a picture of at the microscopic level of some cells within a plant leaf. And you'll notice these very defined lines going around the cells. And this is the actual cell wall. And it is permeable to some things like water. But there are channels that things can transport from. There's also channels in between cell to cell so that cells can move things in between themselves. All of these green things that you see inside, these are the chloroplasts. And the reason they're green is because they have a pigment called chlorophyll. And so this helps with the photosynthetic process. So within the chloroplast, like we said, this is where photosynthesis occurs. And how photosynthesis happens is that these plants take up this carbon dioxide, which is what we exhale when we breathe. They take up carbon dioxide and they take up water, and then they take this light in, and that's our energy form going in. And from that, they create sugar and oxygen. And one thing that you might notice when you're looking through this is that if you were to distribute this front number throughout, so you had 6 C's and 12 O's, you'll find the same number on each side. It's completely balanced. So none of these different elements go to waste. And then the last one that's unique to plants is this large blue structure, which is used for storage, and that's the vacuole. The vacuole is really important in the plant cell. It holds on, excuse me again, sorry guys. It holds on to all of the waste in the cells, but it also stores things like nutrients and all types of things like water and food. So this is a really important area. It's like a storage unit within the cell.